In the Bible narrative, God created the world. At first, he made the skies, and in this heavenly place, he made cherubs, angels, and the top-ranking angels, the archangels. Among them was Lucifer, the highest archangel. He was once described as the most splendid being ever made by God, a magnificent entity, perfect in every aspect. Lucifer was considered flawless from the moment of his creation. His perfection, beauty, divinity, and strength compared to others made him arrogant. His superiority over other creations of God made him proud, leading him to believe he should replace God. He desired to be God himself, as he believed he understood God better than anyone else. Lucifer thought he was the best candidate to overthrow God. As mentioned in Isaiah 14:14, Isaiah quotes, "What some believe is Lucifer saying, 'I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of God.'" It can be argued that Lucifer's ambition surpasses even God's, as he not only seeks to replace God, but desires an even higher position. His pride drives him to believe he is more powerful than God. Blind pride leads him down a path of arrogance and manipulation of other angels. His superior intellect allows him to deceive them easily. While some remained loyal to God, many angels, like Lucifer, who would later be known as fallen angels, began to see him as superior. Despite being perfect, Lucifer acknowledges the presence of iniquity within him, thus tarnishing his perfection. With a third of the angels on his side, Lucifer initiates an attack on God, leading to a mighty war in heaven. However, he underestimates the strong resistance from another archangel, Michael. Unable to defeat Michael in his current form, Lucifer begins to doubt his own perfection. He then transforms into a dragon, as described in Revelation 12:7-8. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. While some view Lucifer's actions as courageous, many consider it blind arrogance. Ultimately, defeated by Archangel Michael, it showcases the immense power of the biblical God, as Lucifer's defeat occurs without direct divine intervention. Revelation 12:9 continues, "And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into earth, and his angels were cast out with him." Here we also see Lucifer referred to by his other namesake, Satan, which he earns after his defeat. His defeat signifies more than just a loss of pride. Lucifer is shunned by God and cast out of heaven, along with the angels who had sided with him. Gone are his glory days of being the most splendid, perfect being of all of God's creations. And instead, he takes on the role of the complete opposite. Luke, quoting Jesus in 10:18, describes Lucifer's downfall as, "I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven." Revelation 20:10 reveals Lucifer's final destiny, stating that the devil that deceived them was cast out into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night, forever and ever. It's commonly believed that Lucifer did not accept his punishment quietly. From the very moment of his expulsion, he began plotting revenge against God. Since Lucifer was no longer God's favored creation, he sought vengeance against mankind, which had replaced him. When God tested Adam and Eve by forbidding them from eating from the tree of knowledge, Lucifer seized the opportunity to defy God. Entering the Garden of Eden in the guise of a snake, Lucifer tempted Eve. However, while some interpret Lucifer as the serpent in Genesis 3:1, the text merely describes the serpent as a crafty animal. This interpretation is likely derived from religious teachings rather than explicit scripture. Some argue that Lucifer is indeed depicted as the serpent, particularly in Revelation 12:9, where he is called that old serpent, possibly indicating that he is the original serpent. Others contend that Lucifer did not physically embody the snake in the Garden of Eden, but rather influenced it to speak on his behalf. However, there is no scripture to definitively support this claim. Moreover, upon examining the origin of Lucifer's name, we ascertain that Lucifer is indeed Latin for light bringer or morning star, or even the planet Venus. However, the question arises, how could Latin influence a Hebrew manuscript when Latin didn't exist as a language during the manuscript's creation? To delve deeper into this, let's turn our attention to the 14th chapter of Isaiah, where surprisingly, it's the sole instance in Scripture where the name Lucifer is explicitly mentioned. Isaiah 14:12 states, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation, in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit." Some people think Isaiah talks about Lucifer as the devil, but others say it's about a king from Babylon who fell. This king was mortal, not an angel made by God. He did wrong by Israel and thought God couldn't punish him. Isaiah seems to be talking about the king's mistakes, not Lucifer's. Not all translations call him Lucifer. Some say morning star or Hail El, like the Hebrew word for Venus. This suggests the Babylonian king, once respected, fell as Isaiah said he would. How it became about Lucifer isn't clear. Maybe early Christians and tribes who wrote in Latin saw a chance to add a story about a fallen angel. Following this line of thought, the passage in Isaiah 14:12 was altered by these scribes to fit their own story about Lucifer. When King James Verstui commissioned the English translation, St. Jerome, a key figure, included Lucifer in the final version. Thus, the narrative shifted from a Babylonian king's downfall due to arrogance to Lucifer, the fallen angel. This adaptation became part of the biblical story, accepted by some believers. A similar situation occurred in Ezekiel's words in 2015, mentioning someone perfect in thy ways until sin was found. While some think Ezekiel refers to Lucifer, others suggest it's an unnamed mortal king of Tyre. In summary, no matter how you understand Lucifer's story, whether as a Babylonian king or a fallen angel, the lesson is deep. It echoes the saying, "Pride goes before a fall," found in Proverbs 16:18. This teaches us that being overly confident can lead to failure, much like Lucifer's downfall. It urges us to be humble and grateful for what we have, cautioning against rushing into desires. Respect for elders and those who came before us is vital, as they often hold valuable wisdom. Lucifer's belief in his superiority over God led to his banishment, illustrating the severe consequences of disrespecting predecessors. This tale reminds us to acknowledge our limitations and the wisdom of those who paved the way before us. By recognizing our place in the grand scheme of things, we can avoid the pitfalls of arrogance and ensure a path of humility and gratitude.